Thank you very much for the platform to take you a little bit to a tour what we have in the last 10 years researched and realized in the little country called Switzerland. This picture was it's from my town called Winterthur. I'm still living very close here, and we have a lot of projects in these 10 years, but we have done this first, and what we have find out to try. I'm from my background, landscape gardener, and that was the best argument for to combine PV, I mean solar PV, and the green roof about the cooling effect to the modules. The plants transpirate, like we do also, and then they cool this field. What happens? We make really a strong layout with researchers together. Two departments. One department is from the technology side of renewable energy, the measurement. The other one was about irrigation and green roofing. In the same university, but complete different departments. They never have worked together each, but then we tested the blue ones, it's the irrigated areas with soil. The gray ones are gravel. We test it. And we do it, we take a lot of money from a fund from the supplier. Really, they give us a lot of money for that. And if they say, yes, we have no real research found worldwide about this topic. There is a lot of existing in the literature, but not really facts. We take it 3 years, millions of data about humidity, about temperature, about production. The end of the story was, from the gravel to the irrigated soil was 3 degrees cooling the modules. It means 0.6% more production. We kill that argument on database, sorry. But we have done it. You can imagine the green part of the green society and the green companies, they say you take us away the best argument. And they say, not, we have not taken away, it was not existing. But we find out there are still more research on that field, on small amount, they came up to 10 to 15%. Sorry, not in our middle Europe climate. This was not nice. We want to have another result, and we find out it's not working. What we do? We say, should we stop? No. We don't stop, we sit together and go the next step. You see a little bit, we focus on 3 things. We have a conflict of interest, also on the roof, in the cities, but not only in the cities. I'll show you then more. We have to face the biodiversity. Sorry, not only sedum. We have the rainwater retention. It was the best previous speaker before. They explained better than I can about how we have to handle the rainwater. And the PV, on flat roof, we have to produce as much as possible where we use the idea of the prosumer on the spot. And we are, as example, in Switzerland, only allowed to install PV on roofs. This is the reality. State-of-the-art installations. Also, mostly we find a lot of that kind of things in Switzerland. Not only in Switzerland, but this is the one say on the right side, I say, this roof, it's only sedum surviving, and so moss, it is desert or mud. And this selection let only some plants, I told 2 types, sedum and moss, to survive. This is not really biodiverse, sorry. The left one, yes, you create a kind of a glass house with your installation if you don't think the green is not growing under such conditions. You see the result. Then we go another way. We try to go, we call them the butterfly. We go this way to combine it. There was another problem, too hot soil. We could not, it was a huge roof, 7,000 square meters is the requisite storage of the Opera House in Zurich. We have a problem then, we could not find a certain part for the soil. We take a lot of lava, and the lava 60 degrees, you cook your seeds. Why only sedum mostly survive there? And go to the bird view. What you see when you look down? A black roof, urban heat island effect, previous speaker, and a little bit green around. Is that the solution? I don't think so. It looks nice, partly. Something is growing under the modules? Yes, but not that much. And this summer had very strong selected. Why we go? You have seen this picture by Dusty. We go this crazy way. We test still the gravel, we test still the soil, the green, and we test some white things. Why? We install these little modules to find out what we can produce on the same space. At the end, it's a question of money, how much you produce in kilowatt hours. Everything is okay. With this installation, we are far away from any what you can count. But we want to find out how it is working. We have no data. No data. There's existing some simulations in the programs, but they are not serious if they have no indirect light calculated. They have no, why the white things, the albedo, the reflection. We go further. You see here the layout. If you see here the bird view, you see a green roof with a little bit something, a little bit metal. But very interesting is on the right side, on the left side, from the University of Applied Science, from Zurich, which we work together, you see these three lines. The blue line is the irrigation of the sun, the radiation, sorry. The green, it's a typical south angle to sun. And the red one, the camel, we say, camel against dromedar. The red one, it's the vertical installed. Just think a little bit what it is used on a private house, when you use the electricity. In the evening and in the morning, but not that much on lunchtime. And don't forget, we have some countries, a big neighbor here, calls Germany, has a problem with peak shaving with around 10% of PV. They don't know what to do on lunchtime with that much solar produced electricity. And if the wind is blowing in the north, they have more problems. They give it to the Polish side. They have an overload. They cannot handle it. They have to go down with the coal-fired power plants, but it's also not so easy. We are lucky in Switzerland. We can pump up our pump stations up to 25 or more %. We can handle that, but we are unlucky 1 of 4 countries in the world. But mostly you haven't. Why? It is not so bad to manage the peak, not the production through the year, the production per day and per season. Sometimes you have a problem with electricity on season. As example, in Switzerland, we have to produce in wintertime. We call them winter electricity. It's no joke. I'll show you then why. We have to face such details too for the future, not the amount of production, no, the self-consumption on a building. This is another value. We came to another point, water management. We have still mostly very good conditions in Switzerland, up to 1,200 liters or 1,000 liters. And if we do it cleverly, Spong city, we do it cleverly on the roof with a little bit more, maybe costs for the construction, we can 75 up to 80% vaporize or transpirate over the plants back to the place, back to the microclimate. This is really a value which was explained on the previous speaker, how important that is. We say first the building, if the temperature difference, of course, on the dry layer is much lower, only 40 degrees, up to a gravel roof with 100 degrees, and we can slowly bring the cooling back. We have installed such a roof in March, and it's unbelievable how this dry season, this vegetation survived. It's growing. Unbelievable. We are completely happy with this, what it is growing over, and sometimes not so happy with what is really growing, also beside some neophytes and so, but fantastic how the nature has managed and these difficulties. The researcher came and said to us from the university, where is the irrigation? We didn't find it. We say, it's good, thank you for the things. They didn't believe it. They make these traps, they go about to look about the vegetation, which type, and they have some acid water traps about the insects. They collect them, how much are falling in these traps, and which types of. So it's really an international respected measurement system. And they are all always there and say, there is something wrong, where is the irrigation? The irrigation was the storage. And this is a good system from really developed from Zinco, why this is always also on the slides. There we have developed it together. You see, this is in the mountains on a very famous ski resort. They had a problem with the roof. And it's another way to go, the vertical one. And it's nice. You see, everything is vertical or horizontal. You go further, nothing in that direction. Something is nice to see. It was on the beginning, the green was growing. That way, it's up to 1100 meters. And then now you see the bird view. Where is the technician for the plants? Not existing nearly. This is another quality. This is another place. Why I show you that? Sometimes it's difficult in the mountains. You have a valley in winter time. It's the sun coming very late up. And we work here with the reflection. It is a white marble, which reflect fantastic. We see both the gray one and the white one. It's around 10% higher productivity, no joke. We can measure it on nearly each module. We have a special system called Solar Edge Optimizer. You see on the left side an old-fashioned traditional installation to the south, and you see the vertical one. Up this building is Walserwasser. It's a source of Coca-Cola. They fill up the bottles under this PV installation. And you see why it is working in wintertime. I think no more questions. What it is more productive and produce in winter some electricity. Don't forget, in winter we produce maybe 20%, but each kilowatt is important compared to the rest of the year. Now we have done a new project together, again with these two departments and supported by the Ministry of Energy. They start to realize that it is not wrong what we do. We combine on the same roof the classical one, this one, and the vertical one on two sizes. You see a smaller one and a higher one. It is clear we have sometimes building you cannot go up 1.5 meters, but you can go up a meter. It looks more nice, it's more costly, but something which we can do. And it was an old printing fab, and they have done the roof very strong, 500 kilos. I think they would install a printing machine 50 years ago. Later, it was built as a bottom, not as a roof. But we could use it, we are happy with that, and the investor and the architect are really on our side, and they do a good thing. You see here a little bit the layout. We have on the left and the right side this classical installation, and in the middle, the huge one with the vertical one. And we have this, we call them EcoUp from Zinco, this stored water. We talk from 6 centimeters storage, no more, no need. This summer was the testing. And then some other projects. This was by a church, the little installation. And then on the left side, we combine these things with the classic south angle and vertical in the back. It's in the middle of Zurich. You see, everything is possible to combine. Also we can look also for the profile which you need energy. This is the trade house of the 4 biggest banks. They need unbelievable, of course, you can imagine it's a black hole. They need each kilowatt which we produce over there all the time. Then we make what we are looking for. This is, I call it always the devilly details. We work on, you see the different soils. We work on the soil, the color of soil. We work on the seeds on the plants. One partner is the biggest seed company in Switzerland, Fenaco. We work on silver leaf plants. Why? The nature shows us how nature is adapted since millions of years. In regions which we have an overload of energy, but not enough water, then the plants have a silver surface more and more. They kick away the energy if they have an overload. Of course, the photosynthesis is reduced. If green, it's the best way. But don't care for them. Their limitation is the water. Why they do that? We can use them. Now it's a question, are they local existing or not? This is another question. But sometimes you have the green brother existing here, as example by Helianthemum. There, and the silver leaf sister is growing in the Mediterranean region. Are the bees now going to them or not? We don't know. Something to research for the future. Just to say, we have to think. And I have a joke, and I say always, in the vertical, if you install vertical, on the bottom is Zurich, on the 10 meters up it's Zagreb. We have to realize we have a complete another soil, we have another exposition, and that we will, as next step, find out what happens the 10 meters in the vertical. And then we have to discuss about the right combination of plants. We love sedum, especially me, but sedum is a water collector or not a transpirator. We know this is reduced. We need to have a variety that makes it more stable, and it makes it much more interesting for the biodiversity. And another fact, we checked in Switzerland the cleanest honey. We think from the countryside, no, they have pesticides. The cleanest honey comes from the city of Zurich. The same in Austria, the cleanest honey comes from Vienna, not from the clean Tyrol or something else. That's reality which we have to face, and we can do a little piece to this to make it better. You see the black roof with a lot of green. It's a green roof, but if you see it, it's urban heat island effect. In the afternoon, it's really hot over there. And we face also the reality. Such an installation exists 30 years. It's costly, the maintenance. We will made now, this is an adapted Husqvarna. In future, we build a complete new one if we cannot adapt it that much, which we need. You see, it's not more turning cutting, it's like a silver cutting. We change it, we will also install it, something in that direction that we can cut down the costs for maintenance. And we work with old technologies like the moon calendar, no joke. When we cut trees or plants on that level, they go not up, they go more on the bright side. We have to work really crossover in future, much more in engineering together. Old and new knowledge. Then another thing on the roof. Why I show you that thing? No joke. We have to use on the roofs the wind. This technology produces 70% more than the 3-blade turbines, and it's tested by the hugest wind channel. It's a military-based company in Switzerland, and they find out this one turns the half of the speed, kills no birds. Each tree which has wind inside, it's more loud than this turbine. Why we will use it on the roofs? You see there a little table. I think we can show it later. You see it's more productive than the 3-blade on the left side. You see it, and it's turning only the half of speed. And the fantastic thing is, the double of speed makes 8 times more power. This is a thing. And we think on buildings. Why? It was the opening ceremony on this research project. We think why that we have thermal power, which is coming up of the facade as higher as more, we have more to use. And this is a point which we have installed. We can use also the power. And if we install vertical, we have to, the first line we have to install very strongly. We can use this power, not to fight against, use it and bring it, create kilowatt hours, or not use a lot of resource to handle the wind. This is another way which I hoped could show you today, but we were not that far, but next time I can show you. What we are really doing, we are a team of partners. I think this is also a way of change. It's not the big dominators, like we call them patrons in Switzerland. This is really a partnership between small and medium-sized companies, or also bigger ones, researchers and authorities on the different level. And this is a fantastic how we can go so far we go now. We have this project, and each project we realize in reality it's a part of research. We use a lot of things. We test on that other field, also with biochar. We make with Aquadesk we try a lot of things silent by the corner beside the big things. We will find out how we can move it and make it better and cheaper. Easier, less labor. You cannot imagine the labor. It's really costly in Switzerland. But another figure, per square meter, it's the installation of a classical green roof cheaper in Switzerland than in Germany. How you do it? More automized and more competition. That's just to show you, we will not go to the cheap way. We want to go to the better way. If we are better, but the result must be better, we know why. Then the technical development, we really fight on each little things. I show you on the right side, City of Zurich want to make the bus houses. They have around 600 plus green. It's glassy, but we have a problem with the white. This glass, double glass, maybe 50 kilo, we can go up to 60. With these wood boxes, we don't want to have polyethylene. We go with wood boxes. It's Robinia. It means acacia. Existing 30 years in the Swiss soil, no problem. And we go up and have 60 kilo. And this is our autochthone types of plants. We go with that. We try until we are successfully together with partners. I will show you then the guy who helped me for that. And these are things which we say always a little shit to get a lot of. Also these 600 little houses. Then we have the cost reduction. It's really always a point which we have to face. We have to go to market. And we try out to cut down the footprint. Why we take wood and not PE? It's cheaper, it's easy to have, everybody has it. No, we don't want to have fossil product on the things. As less as necessary. And the good thing is really what we see. Let's make pilot projects. Also here, we help you that we show to the people there is another way possible. But it's only possible together to do that. Finish. Okay, so one picture back. Sorry. Here, you see our little testing on that one roof. We test the subconstruction by wood. We make some tests with white reflection, and we combine all the side roofs as example for biodiversity. That we give back something, not only for the visitors, it's really something for nature. So, thank you for your interest. If there are any questions, thank you.
Ďakujeme veľmi pekne. Andreas Dreisiebner. Vzhľadom na taký ten time management, je nejaká zásadná otázka, alebo to necháme potom na ten networking? Na networking, hej? Alebo to bolo za networking, alebo mám otázku? OK. One question, OK? Just one question.
Možno len v rýchlosti nejaké základné technické parametre tých bifaciálnych panelov. Ako je výkon, cena a možno účinnosť.
Yes, that's a good question. First the price. This is very close to the normal modules. It's not so easy to find it. It's now a step going from one classical level of technology called PERC, the normal monocrystalline cells which are in use, up to heterojunction. This is to understand a monocrystalline cell which have a second level over it. It's a combined solution, and that it's very important to understand. That is the vertical installation is leaving a lot of the indirect waves and the reflected waves called albedo. This is important, and this new technology gives on the back side, the front side is 100%, and the back side it's by a classical one 70-75%, and by heterojunction it's 90%. There are not many producers on that. As in Europe, it's Meyer Burger, but Panasonic is doing that also. You cannot buy it. And the Chinese are coming also there, but they use their own fabs still with the classical one. But there are good products available from really first-class producers from China and also something from Europe.
Okay, thank you so much. Ďakujeme veľmi pekne.